Okay. So, good morning. We are on the second to the last topic of the second quarter. This one will not be included for your long test that will be happening on December 9. Okay, so December 9. This one is out of that topic. However, of course, we still need to study this because this will be included in your quarter exam. With this lesson on the book, it covers African history, Polynesian history, and the Mesoamerica. I decided not to teach the Africa and the Polynesian and just only focus on the Mesoamerica. So this is Mesoamerica. This is the somehow the civilizations included in the Mesoamerica. From the word itself, Meso, if you could recall our previous topics in there, meso means, who would like to give me the meaning of meso? We have Mesolithic age. We have Mesopotamia. So what meso mean? You could turn on your mic and I'm having like a random recitation for this. Yes, Ryan is correct. It's middle. Okay. So it means Middle America. So the Mayan, the Aztec, and the Inca settled in the Mesoamerica. Well, actually, technically, geographically, Maya and Aztec only. Iska is a little bit farther, but still considered Mesoamerica. So there's this image of that. Yeah. So this is the Mesoamerica. This is the present day Mexico City. I am Mexico country. Okay, so the country of Mexico is actually the formerly known as the Mesoamerica. So, yeah. So Mesoamerica means Middle America, and it composed of Mexico and the central part of America. Here you will see later the Aztec here, and then the Mayan here. The Inca is in the southern part where Chile is located. Chile. Okay. So some of the greatest civilization in Americas developed in Mesoamerica, and that includes Maya and Aztec. Meanwhile, the Inca civilization is in the southern part, which as I've mentioned, in the Chile part. Okay. So Biel Arcilla already is here. Somehow asserted his presence. Okay. Now, some of you might be asking how they are actually able to arrive in the Americas. Because if you actually could imagine the world map, okay, the world map, like the Americas is actually very isolated to the rest of the world because Europe, Africa, and Asia, it's like a one plate, like they're interconnected to one another. You could actually travel from Spain to China by land. 'Di ba? Can you imagine that? Can you imagine the world map? It's possible, right, to travel from Spain and then go to east of China by land. Though, of course, it will take maybe months and years during that time. But what I'm trying to say is that all land in Europe, Africa, and Asia are interconnected. So they're not separated. Unlike, try to recall or see the positioning of the Americas. The North and South America are very isolated. They're covered with two ocean. What are those two ocean? Can someone recite? What are the two oceans surrounding Americas? I hope by now you memorized world map already. We're in the second quarter. Or somehow man lang, world map is, you have a picture of world map on your phone. You could somehow view it in your gallery so that you could constantly see it. What are the two oceans surrounding Americas? There's one big in its west, and then there's a little bit somehow average size in its east. Okay, it's correct. There's this two individual who able to answer. Sandra answered Pacific Ocean. That's correct. That's the one in this side. I'm naka-mirror pala. Basta that's the one in the side of Los Angeles, okay, California. So the side of California of United States, there is the Pacific. And then MK is correct for mentioning Atlantic Ocean. So the Atlantic Ocean is in the side of New York. Okay, so yeah, those are correct answers from these two. Ryan also had it correctly. Okay. Pero I'll appreciate guys if you'll speak rather than chat because it's really hard for me to access chat. Unlike if you're just gonna speak. Yan, it's better for me. Okay. So anyway, we have that surrounding bodies of water, really massive bodies of water surrounding in the Americas. So basically, you'll wonder how come a person be able to go in here if humankind started in Africa, how those group of people able to go to that part of the Americas. 'Di ba? Kasi it's inaccessible. Unlike they cannot actually go by boat because even big boats now are getting lost in the Atlantic and Pacific. What more like a tiny boat during the ancient time, right? So it's really a big question. How did people first get to Americas? So there are two theories. The first theory is the Bering Land Bridge. So the Bering Land Bridge, they believe, somehow the geographers believe, and anthropologists who study those ancient people, they believe that the people migrated through that land bridge connecting Russia and Alaska in this. So this is the part of Russia. It's just in it was just 90 degrees rather, 90 degrees in position. Pero usually what you see the way you actually look at it is like that, 'di ba? If you have it in a regular map. But so this part, the one in the north is the Russian part. And then this is the part of United States. And this is Alaska, United States. And then this is Canada, and then this is USA na the rest. Okay. So if you notice, there's this connection. Back then, when the sea is not yet rising, they believe that there's this land that connects that. So the theory number one is that the people from Africa started to scatter all over the world. Some of them went to Europe, some of them went to Middle East, some of them went to as far as Russia. And when they actually reached this point, they realized that they could actually cross pa. So they continue crossing, and they spread and somehow repopulate that part of the Americas. So that's theory number one, how people get to Bering Strait. And I personally, I believe the theory number one because theory number two is actually very difficult to believe. In my case, in my case. So the number two theory is the coastal migration. According to this theory, they believe that the people from Africa are actually able to use water, somehow use the navigation in water. So meaning they cross Atlantic Ocean here. They cross in here. There's Africa in this side, right? This side, Africa. And then the theory number two, the coastal migration, is that they actually cross Atlantic Ocean using their boat, of course, mini boat, and then they cross Atlantic Ocean and able to settle in the Yucatan Peninsula, and then they just spread in the Americas. So that's theory number two, which I personally having hard time believing. Because if you just know how harsh Atlantic Ocean is, it's really hard to believe the theory number two. But then again, some of the researchers um, find a reason to believe that. So this is the Yucatan Peninsula. This is where the Mayan civilization settled. So if theory to be believed, so yun, there's nga a big potential that they landed in here. That's why they repopulate there. But if theory one is to be believed, you could just imagine that they cross this land bridge and then just scattered there, and then it's just so happened they settled in that Yucatan Peninsula in the south. Okay, so that. Before I move on to the next, would you like to share your thoughts about the theory 1 and theory 2? Do you have like anything you would like to add? None? Okay. Now, let's talk about the Mayan political structure. I think I am wrong to use blue and red, no, in PowerPoint, or I'm just the only one who's like feeling dizzy. But anyway, let's go through it. We can do this. So yeah, so the Maya actually is not an empire. So if Aztec is an empire, Inca is an empire, but Maya is not. When you say empire, a conquering political group, just like Roman is an empire, right? They get to colonize other places. So is Macedonia. Macedonia is an empire because Alexander was actually able to somehow get places. Okay, but Maya is not like that. Mayan civilization, they have a massive land in the Yucatan Peninsula, but they are more like the Greeks. They are more like the Greeks of the Mesoamerica. They divided their city into provinces or city states, and then they govern their own. Though they have like a city capital, or like the Yucatan Peninsula capital, which is in Tikal. So other people in other provinces go in Tikal to actually worship in there. But other sense, politically speaking, they follow their city states rule. Okay, so if you're gonna imagine the Mayan civilization, they're like the Greeks. Okay, they're like the Greeks of the Mesoamerica. Okay. So yeah, for if in case some of your classmates are having technical difficulty, you could mention to them that you're able to chat me, and I recognize their difficulty. Okay? Pero I'll still have to continue. That's the beauty of having our class recorded. You could really rewatch it later, just in case you're having technical difficulty. Okay? So yan. Next, the Mayan civilization was made up of city-states, as I have mentioned, and each city-state has its own ruler. So they have their own political system, just like Sparta, Athens, and Thebes, all those city-states in Greece. They have that in the Mayan civilization. Okay. So this is what the Yucatan Peninsula look like. Really massive actually. Yan. And then this is Tikal. It's like their city capital. Later, I'll show you pictures. And then other city states in there. They're peaceful to one another since they belong in one ethnic group. Diba? They're the Mayans. But this is the scary part in Mesopotamia. They are really, really, how to, bloodthirsty. Bloodthirsty. That whenever, let's say, this group of Mayan people got interacted with other civilization, let's say in the north, there are Aztecs in there. If a Mayan encountered an Aztec person, it's not a peaceful, hi, hello, nice to meet you. It's not like that. If they meet another ethnic group, it's gonna be a bloodbath. It's gonna be a battle. And they will try their best to catch the other. And then when they catch the opponent, they will make sure that they will bring it to their place and kill that person in front of many people. Parang a sacrifice, life sacrifice. So it's like a torture, no, a torture kind of defeat. Especially if you're like the leader of that tribe, there's like a bounty in your head. You're like the target because you're gonna be like a good sacrifice because you're a leader. Okay, so that's like one thing about the Mesoamerican civilization. They are fascinated with killing. They're fascinated with blood. Okay. Okay, next. Yan. So let's talk about the Mayan architecture. So it is believed to be that they have an advanced architecture due to the sturdiness of their pyramid. Okay. So here I'll show you yan. And there's this image of that pyramid. Now you might be thinking, just like the Hanging Garden of Babylon, it's beautiful and sturdy but not existing. Well, you're wrong with that, because up until now, the Mayan pyramids are still existing. It's still sturdy. You could actually climb in there, and that is actually very, very high. I think that's somehow in the 500 steps. I know that's thousands of steps, 5,000 steps yan. That's like really, really high. I'll just try to ayan, that's a small part eh. Yan. Ito, this will show you how massive the Mayan architectural design is. And just so you know, in my posted material on Google Classroom, I actually post there 3 videos. And please, 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 since we don't have activity now, try to watch it. It's so beautiful. I'm actually binge watching um, all those videos of that certain channel, the Kings and Emperors channel in YouTube, and they really tell the story very beautifully. So watch those video, and they will explain to you how this was actually created. It actually started like a really tiny, like this same appearance but tiny, maybe up until this height only. And then whenever they find opportunity to increase it, they will cover it again, and then it will look like this pero a little bit higher. And then again, if they have opportunity, they'll cover it, and then they'll make it a little bit higher but look like that. So that's why if you're actually gonna cut it in half, like if you have the power to cut this in half and then try to open it like a cake, you will see that it has like layers inside. So that exactly look like that, because what they're doing is like have that built and then cover and cover and cover up until it reaches this height. Now you might be wondering why there's this desire for them to keep it high as possible. It's because they have a lot of ceremonial activities, that those ladder right there, those stairs rather, those stairs has religious significance to them. They want that the blood that will shed in there should run through those stairs. So meaning to say, whenever they try to sacrifice a life, the life of that the blood of that person should be dripping on that stairs, and it's like as if their building is being blessed through that grotesque kind of action. Kaya actually, if you're like have that ability to actually visit this place, I feel like it's gonna be a powerful experience, because the moment you touch those rocks, you're touching thousands and thousands of people's blood in there. So it's like it's a stain of murder in there. So like it's for me, if I have money, I'll travel to Mexico. I'll visit Tikal and just be absorbed with such unique culture. Okay. So yan. And also, but they're not that very somehow I hope I'm not appearing that I'm promoting violence in this lecture. It's just that what I'm trying to say is, if you're gonna compare them, but they said they are like the Greeks of the Mesoamerica. If you're gonna compare them to the Greeks of of the Europe, they're very unique, very very different, right? Like the other one is like very peaceful, democratic loving kind of analogy, and then this one is like very bloody. But the reason why there's a common denominator is their love for knowledge. Their love for knowledge. It's actually the Mayan who invented the accurate 365.25 days in a year. It's their technology. They're the ones who actually able to calculate the constellation and the stars and like that, and predicted the calendar. They created calendar. They even have basketball. Take a look at this. Yan. They had this game. But however, their ring is not like with us na horizontal. Their ring is in like that, it's vertical. And then they will get this piece of I think it's like corn husk, and then cover it with other cloth, and then it will be ball like, and then they're gonna it's like a patintero as well, because there's a certain portion you're not allowed to get out. Tapos you're gonna throw and throw that ball, and then the other opponent should have to return it back to you, like a volleyball, somehow like a volleyball. But there's also a portion of the game wherein you have to shoot that ball, shoot that ball, shoot that ball in this ring. So para it's like, imagine it like a mix of dodgeball, volleyball, and basketball in one game. And that kind of thing is actually very, very highly somehow liked by the people of Mayan. Now, whenever there's a game like that, they will gather around, they will scream, they will shout. So there's like, imagine it like there's this still gaming in their culture. Okay, so yan. So as I've mentioned, human sacrifice. They're also polytheistic. They believe in many gods, and they also have their own writing system. The beautiful thing about the Mayan civilization, their writing system is already been decoded. When you say decoded, there are actually people who can read these languages. That's why one thing also with the Mayan, they did not disappear without a trace. Most of the time, they will actually allocate a big slab of stone, and then write what happened that year. Like, let's say a big slab of stone is dedicated for a year. That's why I'm not sure if I have those images of slab of stones. I not eh. But I'll try to send it on our Viber. If you're actually gonna visit a city in the Mayan civilization, they have like, imagine it like a lapida somehow, but it's really really big, and then there are like writings in there, and then every slab of stone somehow represents a year. That's why the archaeologists are very happy to actually discover the Mayan civilization, because they are well documented. Meaning the Mayans really write specifically their history in there, and with dates. With dates. That's actually what's strange about the Mayans. They're really intelligent regarding that matter, to make sure that everyone will know about them. They don't want to disappear in history. They make sure that they will be remembered and their story will be known. Also, the Mayans actually have writing system, and also since they have a writing system, number system, and since they have number system, calendar was also easy for them to be created. Numbers, the zero is also their big contribution. So what happened to the Mayan civilization? This is actually a fast forward lesson, ha. I will not discuss the middle history of Maya. It's just like their beginning and then their end. Sorry for that very shortcut, because we're in a hurry. So what happened is that the Mayan civilization actually created danger within themselves, because of the constant offering of lives. They also somehow expose themselves to diseases, bacteria, and other things that caused with the kind of living that they're having. So the first reason is like the population got sick, and then since most of the population are sick, no good workforce, so they got somehow weaker in economics. So parang it's hard na to move around, and there are no evident leaders. Civil war happened. So the usual reason why an empire is actually declining. So all of those contributed to them. Okay. So there are some reasons, there are some instances also that archaeologists also believe that those theories that they have, the decline of the Mayan, probably are not the reason. Because they're like thinking of invasion as well. Na probably the Aztecs invaded. No, maybe the Aztecs invaded. Or, it's just a lot of reason. So many reason. Okay. Yan, starvation and other things pa that they're thinking. But most of the resources that I consume, I watch somehow and I read, they somehow give a final verdict that it's most likely the decline in way of life in the Mayan. Starvation, economics down, politics down. Okay. the Mayan race itself, like ethnically speaking, they're still existing. The modern day Mexican people, those are like the ethnic faces of the former Mayan empire, former Mayan civilization. So here are like images of that. So that's what Mayan looked like back then. Parang that facial feature. So more than 2 million Maya people live in Guatemala and southern part of Mexico today. Okay, so with this, yun lang, this video clip is already uploaded on our Google Classroom. Please do watch this. This first video right here is from TED Talk. It will somehow tell you why is it beautiful that a certain civilization is isolated. Like with the Mayan civilization, but they're isolated. So this video will explain to you the beauty of having an isolated civilization. Okay. So I'll begin with Aztec in our next link. Okay, because we only have 5 minutes, and I feel like I will be cut off somehow awkwardly. So let us end the Zoom link now, and I'll see you in the next link. Okay, click the same link.